and welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. A tropical storm watch is now in effect for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as Tropical Storm Brett moves closer to the island chain. The 6 p.m. update from the SVG Meteorological Services says the data received from an Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicates that the storm force winds will extend further south than previously anticipated. A tropical storm watch is issued when the sustained winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour associated with a tropical storm is possible within 48 hours. The SVG Met Services says at 5 p.m. the center of the tropical storm Brett was located near latitude 13.3 degrees north, longitude 53.9 degrees west, or approximately 485 miles east of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The system is moving towards the west at 15 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour with high gusts. The Met Services says its present forecast track, the center of Brett is expected to approach the Lesser Antilles on Thursday and move across the area late Thursday and then move westward across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea Friday and Saturday. Ultrabands of Tropical Storm Brett are expected to begin to affect SVG from Thursday with showers, periods of rain, isolated thunderstorms, and strong gusty winds. Rains a compilation of 3 to 6 inches with isolated high amounts are also likely across the islands. A flash flood watch or warning is expected to be issued. The Met Services is urging residents to stay informed with updates and advisories on Tropical Storm Brett as the island is now under a tropical storm watch. On NBC Radio this morning, Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, Michelle Forbes, urged residents to remain on the alert.
In those areas already prone to flooding. So if you know you're in those areas prone to flooding, you need to be extremely careful. Activate your family emergency plan. Get ready to take action if needed. We can have lahars still in the northern communities. We can have landslides after oversaturation of our soil. And you know we're coming out of a dry period, so our soil is already stressed in terms of getting rainfall now. And if you have excess rainfall later on into the weekend, these outer bands and the clouds can linger for some time, and we have to be mindful that they will linger and they still also have the rainfall that can cause quite a bit of damage once we have flooding. We can still have the gusty winds. I want to remind persons the limbs can fall off of your trees. Things that can blow around your house. If you have galvanized fence, you know people like to have galvanized fence, and those things can be blowing around and cause damage if you're outside. In terms of the rough seas, I want to basically ask the fisher folk and those persons who use the sea quite a lot to be extremely careful and monitor the information from the Met Services. Too many times you see persons still venturing out when we have the rough seas, and then they may have difficulty. We have to have the Coast Guard activated to support them.
Forbes said they have been in contact with the various stakeholders to ensure that they are fully prepared for the hurricane season.
We have been in contact with the various communities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines to inform them that we have been monitoring this system for some time. We have been in contact with the key organizations in St. Vincent, alerting them even before, once Billy would have alerted us, alert the key organizations so they too can ensure that their plans are activated internally. And we have also alerted these various committees on the National Disaster Management System. This morning we meet at 9:30 with you, Prime Minister, and you will chair that meeting of the National Emergency Council to really meet with the agencies to see what their state of readiness is for, not for just this storm, but for the entire hurricane season, because we know anything can happen. I don't want us to be complacent. We see we're in early June. Billy would have given you the forecast 2 weeks ago in terms of a little bit average and below average. I don't focus on that, and I don't want us to zero in on that, because we see we are having early systems this year and anything can happen, and we need to just be prepared for all of the hazards that can affect us this hurricane season. And I want to say the heavy rainfall, the strong winds, and the rough seas.
Brett is the second named storm of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has said a near average number of storms is forecasted for this year: 12 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and up to 4 major hurricanes of Category 3 or higher. If Brett had strengthened into a hurricane, it would have been a rarity. According to the Hurricane Center, the season's first hurricane usually doesn't form until early to mid-August. A number of LIAT's flights have been disrupted due to the passage of Tropical Storm Brett. In its travel advisory number 2 issued earlier today, the airline advises passengers that due to the impending passage of Tropical Storm Brett, several destinations will be affected, including those already under tropical storm watches and warnings. The airline says the following flights have been canceled for tomorrow, Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. YL1 343 from St. Kitts to St. Lucia, 343 from St. Lucia to St. Vincent, 343 from St. Vincent to Grenada, as well as 342 from Grenada to Barbados, 342 from Barbados to Antigua. LIAT says passengers who have been affected will be allowed to rebook with all change fees waived if their flight has been affected, and you are asked to contact LIAT's call center for rebooking. You're also advised to check your emails or visit the LIAT website and social media pages for further updates. LIAT says it regrets any inconvenience caused by these cancellations as a result of the passage of the impending tropical storm. The funds and the project steering committee headed are now in place for the National Road Rehabilitation Project. This is according to Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works Montgomery Daniel, who on NBC Radio's face-to-face program today said the project unit headed by engineer Brett Bailey will operate from the Doris Mackey Learning Resource Center at Arnesville.
The funds of $120 million for the road project, and we are ready and we are ready to go with this project. When I met with you the last time, of course, I indicated to you that the project shovel ready should be starting on the 20th of June, which was yesterday. Unfortunately, the project is 1 week really behind schedule because of some technical aspects to which the unit had to get in place. And so 1 week from today, I've been advised that the projects should get on the ground, get started.
Minister Daniel said there are 2 main contractors to carry out the work for the National Road Rehabilitation Project, BRAXA and OECC.
BRAXA would have had an approved contract signed, and at the moment they have signed on to 9 projects within their contract. These are within the first phase of this overall project. Equally, OECC, on the other hand, they have not signed their contract as yet because they are working out. That's OECC. They are working out with the technical committee of the, and so they have already have some 8 projects identified with another 2 to be allocated to them.
Minister Daniel also used the opportunity to outline the Phase 1 projects to be carried out by both BRAXA and OECC under the National Road Rehabilitation Project.
In the case of BRAXA, BRAXA has the Cumberland Playing Field Road in North Leeward, the Dorsetshire Hill Road in East Kingstown, the Johnny Hill Link Road in East St. George and West St. George, the Belvedere Bridge and Approach in East St. George, the Windward Highway, that's the Diamond Mayasoots Bridge, that's in East St. George, Hackshaw Realignment, that is in Maracay, the South Windward Coastal Road at Shipping Bay, and the Sandy Bay Housing Development Project, as well as the Noel Village Road. These are projects to be done immediately by BRAXA. With OECC, the roads identified are the Connery Estate Road, which is of course in the North Central Windward constituency. The Grand Sable Estate Road, again in the North Central Windward constituency. Then you also have the Windward Highway at Diamond, which is, we're working on a bus stop there at Diamond. Then you have the Proven Vale Road, of course. The Diamond Bus Shed, the Windward Highway Diamond Bus Shed is in South Windward, and of course Proven Vale Village Road, that also is in South Windward. The Calico Road Network in East St. George, that will be done. The Belair Middle Road in West St. George. The Dorsetshire Hill Road in East Kingstown. The road to Canouan Base Road. And we are also having the Bluff Road in Beckway. That is also being identified. And I think the other one that is now being worked on, which I would have brought to the attention of the unit, is, though I said there are 2 others that are supposed to be coming in for OECC, which is Bluff, and also one in West St. George, as you go over from Dorsetshire Hill into that area as you come back over into Annesville. These are the 2 other roads that have been looked at this point.
In its development, the Republic of China on Taiwan continues to leave its successful footprints here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is according to Ambassador for Taiwan to SVG, His Excellency Peter Shai Leland, who on NBC Radio's face-to-face program yesterday said he is pleased to be engaged in the current development projects across SVG supported by Taiwan.
I don't want to mention, but the National Tennis Court, the National Library, Rebecca Bridge, of course, and also the Central Market building. But a lot of people forgot about that. So we have to, build on that foundation. Now, thirdly, we are proud that we are engaging in the current major projects, like the major infrastructure project, to name a few, the road repairing project, the port modernization project, and the new parliamentary building and the new core building. Of course, there's another one, is the Marriott Hotel. So these are major infrastructures that we believe in the long run will benefit the people and the country as a whole.
Ambassador Leland, who will be leaving his post soon, shared a bit about his ambassadorial experience here in SVG, noting that he is proud to have started and took part in several initiatives relating to culture and private sector engagements.
I'm proud to say, other than that, I was able to take some new initiatives in terms of cultural engagement. For example, we have our first ever spotlight project that we had the two cultural experts sitting together, have virtual meetings, and we come up with this great show last year. And I was able to also host the first ever national celebration in the Vincent Beach Stadium. People running against each other. celebrating our National Day. I think that's the first ever. And we also encourage the private sector engagement. For example, we're the ongoing project of the Rotary clubs that they are going to launch a major public health project, and of course the on-site project, the women empowerment project. So I was able to be able to witness this kind of new initiatives. So I'm very proud of our working relationship with the government and the people here again.
Ambassador Leland said his 2 years of stay in SVG has been a memorable experience. His assignment in SVG is expected to come to an end in July of 2023, and he is expected to take up official duties as the Director General of Asian and Pacific Affairs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan. Ambassador Lan will be replaced by Ambassador Fiona Penn. Nine contestants who will be vying for the title of Miss SVG 2023 were unveiled and sashed by their sponsors last night at an event hosted at the Lakeview Hotel and Resort by the Beauty Shows Committee of the Carnival Development Corporation, CDC. The Miss SVG pageant is slated for October 7, 2023. The contestants who will be vying for the title are Letitia Barber, Miss Grenadine House; Denicia Botswin, Miss Metrocin General Insurance Limited; Diana Fairburn, Miss Play 4; Arena Foy, Miss Massey Stores Limited; Trina Hooper, Miss National Lotteries Authority; Neil Laborde, Miss Flo; Samisha Millington, Miss Careers Ace Hardware; Tara Richardson, Miss JCI St. Vincent; and Roisha Telemac, Miss In Transit Exports. During the unveiling ceremony last night, Chairperson of the Beauty Shows Committee, Avia Charles, said the pageant this year will be held under the theme Crown Jewels, and thanked the cooperative community for its support.
For this year's pageant to be even more successful than last year, the partnerships with corporate St. Vincent and the Grenadines are of utmost importance. That is why we wish to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of our partners and stakeholders who join us to showcase the beauty and excellence of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. To last year's sponsors, publicly I say thank you for your support of the contestants and the Beauty Shows Committee. We are happy to have many of you back on board this year, some in the same capacity and others in new capacities. To the Lakeview Boutique Hotel, premier sponsor in this year's pageant, tonight would not have been possible without your support. Furthermore, last year, we introduced our community service project, which was made possible by the contributions of the General Employees Cooperative Credit Limited, GECU. This evening, I am pleased to say that GECU has recommitted to being the title sponsor for this initiative with even more support than last year. Their recommitment and increased support are indicative of the significant impact of the 2022 projects and the impact that they continue to have across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Charles said despite some challenges last year, they were still able to host a successful event.
As a new committee in 2022, we embraced and at no point underestimated the task bestowed upon us. As a result, I am elated to say that we ensured the contestants were well prepared and armed with the necessary tools for self-development and growth. We executed and sustained a successful marketing campaign, which led to the most well-attended pageant within recent years. This year, it is our intent to build on our success stories and close the gaps that we identified subsequent to the staging of Miss SVG 2022.
On the community service projects for the contestants introduced last year, Charles said the contestants this year will be engaged in similar projects, which again will be an added boost to the pageants.
Several contestants have continued their projects and created new ones, such as Scholastic Lit, a tutoring program offered by 3 of the 2022 contestants. We have seen last year contestants also completing Christmas light-ups, mentoring 4 teams, supporting police clubs, completing 1,000 acts of kindness for special days, and not for one moment is the value of these endeavors lost on us. I leave you to consider that the estimated value of just one community service project in monetary terms last year was in excess of $75,000. For 2023, the Gecko Community Service Project, dubbed Creating Her Story, will see the contestants building stronger communities by implementing activities that bring awareness to 9 economies: the green economy, the blue economy, the golden economy, purple economy, the white economy, the orange economy, the silver economy, the inspiration economy, and the black economy. More details on the 2023 Gecko Community Service Project will be shared at the launch ceremony in July.
The 9 contestants who will compete for the Miss SVG title this year shared a bit about their educational background, career path, and life journey at last night's unveiling and sashing ceremony. Here's a snippet of the speech delivered by the first 5 contestants.
Born to the bustling Blackfish town, Barely, I am 19-year-old Letitia, your contestant number 1, proudly sponsored by Any path that you choose, use it as your destiny. I am proud to announce this path that I have chosen to embark on, and I intend to make this journey worthwhile as I move towards my destiny. Per daughter, through difficulties to the heights, I am a product of my alma mater, the St. Vincent Girls High School.
I am 21-year-old Denicia Boswin, hailing from the diverse and dynamic community of Diamond Estate, sponsored by Metrosin Insurance Limited. Since the opening of the Argyle International Airport, my community has been on the rise. There are currently many ongoing capital projects to boost sports tourism, domestic tourism, medical tourism, and more.
I am 20-year-old Deanna Fairbairn from the alluring and lush community of Lomans Leeward. Your contestant number 3, proudly sponsored by Play 4. My academic foundation was at the Ryan Spruce School before attending the Kingston Anglican School. 6 years later, I got to grade 6 and was a part of the first cohort to write the CPEA examination in 2014. I then graduated from the Bishop's College, Kingston, where I wrote 10 CSEC subjects and was successful in all of them.
I'm 25-year-old Arena Foy, fondly known as Rena Slays. I emerged from the home of one of the most beautiful beaches and hottest road carnivals in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Kittels, a place where the love of community and family have molded me into the young woman I am today. I stand before you with dignity and humility as I am proudly sponsored by Massey Stores. At a tender age, I realized my unique ability to conceptually visualize things in my head before executing them. This talent has become one of my greatest assets and has helped me immensely in my passion for cosmetics. My entrepreneurial spirit has also led me to excel in various business avenues, but mostly in my greatest achievement, SVG's premier makeup company, my very own Slayer's Place.
Birthed with intelligence and embraced by elegance. Good evening. I am 25-year-old Trina Hooper. A small, close-knitted and vibrant rural community located in North Leeward that's known for its fishing, creative Christmas light-up, home of the fun band Rose's Crew, and sweet boom drums is my home, Rosebank. Though I am a Rosebank girl, in your presence tonight, I stand here as a representative for North Leeward on a whole.
The other 4 contestants were equally confident about themselves and their chances of taking the Miss SVG title 2023.
From the crown of capital Kingstown, Sion Hill, a community known for sports, culture, and specifically steel pan, standing before you is contestant number 6, 21-year-old Nyla Board, proudly sponsored by Flow. Ambitious, determined, energetic are a few words to describe my vibrant personality. I started my schooling at the C.W. Prescott Primary School, and after sitting the CPEA examination, I began my secondary schooling at the Intermediate High School, where I gained 8 CXC passes.
I am your 2013 National Science Fair winner, forever girl guide, witty and enchanted actress, 21-year-old Simisha Millington. Proudly sponsored by Carace Ace Hardware, the Help Food Place, a multifaceted corporation to whom I'm forever grateful. Thanks to my associate degree in hospitality services, I am now a lady of many hats. But my favorite hat would have to be my tour guiding hat. For I am not only proud to be one of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' youngest tour guides, but I am proud to call this little resilient island of mine home. As a tour guide, I get reminded every day of how truly blessed we are to have 32 islands and keys, both black and white sand beaches, lush vegetation, and our Lasufre volcano.
Barely is where beauty blooms in brilliance and is home to 5,000 plus delightful individuals, including myself, 23-year-old Tara Richardson, contestant number 8, proudly sponsored by JCI St. Vincent. I am a proud past student of the St. Vincent Girls High School, where I completed my secondary education. This is where I was able to join and be a part of the Girl Guiding Sisterhood here in SVG. I credit the sisterhood for helping me to develop my fullest potential.
I am Roisha Telemark, your contestant number 9, proudly sponsored by In Transit Exports. I was born on the early night before Christmas in the year 2003. That makes me 19 years of age. I am currently a student at the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, where I'm studying travel and tourism at the 2nd year level, and I am also employed at the Tower Bar Arnesville. I grew up and I am from our picturesque Grenadine island, Carnival, famous for its many beaches and its rich marine life filled with corals.
Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, Ricardo Adams, said that this year's pageant promises to be one of the most exciting ones.
Avia and her team continue to challenge the boundaries of what is possible with the Miss SVG pageant. I look forward, hopefully one day, to our being able to witness all of our delegates unveiled as winners of rural pageants, so that we can truly have a national Miss SVG. But that is another story that we'll get to at another time. This year's competition promises to be one of the most exciting yet, with a group of delegates who have worked hard to get here, who've already gone through a preliminary selection process, and I am confident that they all have something special to offer. Over the next few months, we will have the opportunity to get to know each of these ladies better as they participate in a variety of events and challenges. We'll see them showcase their talents, their intelligence, and their beauty as they vie for the title of Miss SVG 2003. We will see them shine as they showcase their unique personalities and skills. As we begin this journey together, I want to remind everyone that this is not just a beauty pageant. It is an opportunity for these young women to showcase their talents, their intelligence, and most importantly, commitment to making a difference in the community. You are all already winners. We can't wait to see what you will accomplish in the months ahead. You have the support of an entire community behind you, and we believe in you and are excited by the possibilities of what you can accomplish.
Meanwhile, the most patronized show for Vincy Mas, the Soca Monarch competition, is facing a bit of a challenge this year, with a number of top artists pulling out of the competition. At least 5 of these artists have indicated publicly they will not be participating, including former Raga Soca Monarch Chuali Johnson. In a Facebook post yesterday, Johnson expressed disappointment with the Carnival Development Corporation (CDC's) failure to meet their requests. And in a telephone interview with SVG-TV's News Today, Johnson said the decision to withdraw from the competition this year was made individually and collectively.
A number of us who would have signed a letter that we sent to CDC outlining a list of demands or things we would like to see changed in the Soca Monarch competitions, which is Raga Soca and Power Soca Monarch. We received a response, and we weren't satisfied with the response we received. So a number of us decided to stick to our word and opt out of the competition. We requested a raise in the prize monies, the appearance fee. We requested that we be able to see our scores after the competition. We made a request to that the prize monies be, the prizes and appearance fees be presented by at least 5 days after the competition. We made a request for our percentages in regards to pay-per-view and the use of our likeness. We also wanted to see the clause where if a competing brand sponsors a performer during the Soca Monarch competition and we display their brand, that we won't be disqualified. For example, if Flo sponsors Carnival and I go on stage with a digital T-shirt for my presentation, I would be disqualified. So we wanted to see that removed. Yes, it was a number of things.
Johnson said it was necessary to take a stand and hopes that their fans can understand the reasons behind their withdrawal, noting that they have all made their contribution to the national festival.
The main thing is everyone who would have signed on or who would have stated that they're staying out, the main thing is we contributed to our national festival by producing and releasing music for the public consumption and enjoyment. I myself would have released 3 songs, Legacy, Amazing, and Day One. Magical would have released a number of songs, Explosive, No Order, Dimes and Pixels, Kiki. I mean, a number of us, we released quite a number of songs, right? So we still made a significant contribution to Vincy Mas 2023. We are proud of our contributions. Our fans do enjoy the music, and I would just ask that person to understand where we are coming from and understand that we see it necessary to take a stance and for what we believe in.
The other artists who have indicated they will be staying out of this year's competitions include Magical, Dimes and the Pixel, Kiki, and Grabber Finesse. Johnson said if CDC decides to meet their demands, some of these artists may have a change of heart, but he doubts it.
Each artist decides whether or not they want to partake, even if they would have signed previously. It's down to an individual basis. No hard feelings for anyone who decides to enter. I wish persons all the best. I mean, it's a big platform. It's a difficult platform. So all the best to whoever decides to enter. But I can't say for sure who else will either enter or not take part. So far on social media, I would only give you the names that I saw on social media. I wouldn't give you the names of anyone else unless they make it public. So far, we've seen Dimes and Pixel, myself, Kiki, Magical, Gaba, Casper G, Yeah, those are the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Bongo Prime would have stated that as well on radio. So those are persons, and those are artists who have significant contributions, who bring a high standard of music yearly for Vince Mars. And I just want the public to understand our plight and to support us.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricardo Adams, tells SVG-TV News via telephone interview that the Soca Monarch and Raga Soca Monarch competitions will go ahead this year, noting that they have been seeing a strong registration for both competitions. Adams says today, Wednesday, June 21st, is the last day for registration, with Friday, June 23rd for the preliminary judging.
Well, what I would tell you is I don't have the details of the people who are dropping out, but I do know that we have strong registration so far, and we're continuing to receive registration. Up to today, we're still continuing to receive registration. In fact, I just came from the office upstairs, and there were people upstairs still registering, because registration closes today. And as it stands, we're still seeing persons coming in, and we're going ahead with our preliminary judging on Friday, and our Soca Monarch and Raga Soca Monarch competitions during the Carnival period.
With a number of top artists already indicating that they will not be participating in this year's competition, Adams commented on conversations held recently with representatives of the Soca and Raga Soca artists, the CDC, and the Calypsonian Association.
I'm sure you would have seen the petition that would have been circulated, because as far as I know, it was highly circulated. The Soca artists were asking for prize money of $280,000, and between prize monies and appearance fees, $280,000. And the CDC indicated that coming out of a difficult year last year, while we understand some of the concerns of the Soca artists, we were not in a position to guarantee price increase in 2023. And they basically asked us if we could confirm that we could afford a price increase by Friday. We indicated to them that while we're still in discussion with other entities, we were unable to confirm and guarantee a price increase by Friday gone. So we communicated that to them. But as we've always said, we continue to have discussions with sponsors, etc., to see if there's anything that could be done. But certainly to ask us to come up with $280,000 this year would have been a far stretch. And while we continue to see if there's anything that we can do, we can't guarantee anything unless we know where the prize monies would be coming from. Okay. But what I will say is that we continue to have strong registration going on, and so we're going to continue with the Soca Monarch and the Raga Soca Monarch show this year.
The CDC chairman said the artists made some demands, including increase in prize money in the competitions. However, the CDC is in no position at this time to guarantee anything or meet all of these demands.
They had a number of demands. For instance, things like looking at the score sheets, they're being able to see their scores and that kind of stuff, which we agreed on. But I think for them, the big sticking point was the increase in prize monies, and we did indicate to them that while we continue to pursue that, it is not something that last Friday we could have guaranteed, because we don't want to go and guarantee an increase in prize monies, and we don't know where that prize money is coming from, and then we end up in a scenario where paying of prizes is again delayed, because we're committing to something that we can't guarantee.
All right.
Well, that was Carnival Beat for this evening.